Oh, are you okay? I'm fine.
Why doesn't Mexico crack down on cartel violence and jail every gang member like Nayib Bukele, the greatest leader of modern human history, did? Yeah, great question.
Nope.
That would be impossible. Okay? Because they have American guns and American weapons and American gear and American dollars lining up their pockets. And therefore, they are, in many instances, more fucking powerful than the military. So you can't.
Oh my.
Mexico's cartel problem is not one that Mexico itself can solve. Mexico's cartel problem can only be solved with American politics. That is the unfortunate reality of America. They get their guns from us, and they get their money from us. We are the market, and we give them guns. So there is no way to solve it internally with you know, internal Mexican politics.
The nearshoring expectation effect and our special relationship with the U.S., to which we're the first trading partner and the first source of imports.
A lot to pick up on there, Vanessa. How would you say she defines herself when it comes to her relationship with the private sector? Is she pro-business?
She has said so. She actually today said it so and gave a huge emphasis to having a good relationship with the private sector. Because I think it needs to be understood that it's not the public sector who creates employment, it's the private sector. And that you need the private sector as allies for development and as allies in particular for specific sectors such as energy, such as infrastructure, and many others. So we hope she moves forward in this direction, which is key for the competitiveness and for productivity of the country.
Vanessa, we were listing some of her impressive credentials. I wonder if you think that that influences the way she thinks, the fact that she is a scientist.
Hold her hand.
I think that will tell a lot, and she would have a challenge to move from ideology to pragmatism, from a rational perspective of government, and most importantly, to an effective government, because this is exactly what Mexicans want. Mexicans want their problems resolved. They want to live in a more peaceful country. They want to end up violence. They want to have employment. They want to be competitive. They want to have access to health and to social security and to education. So the more practical way in which she addresses the most challenging and pressing challenges for the Mexican society, I think is going to determine her presidency.
We can now reveal that Keir Starmer could be heading to Downing Street with a majority of 194 seats, bigger than Tony Blair achieved in 1997. And that is according to the first major polling projection by YouGov of this campaign, partnering with Sky News. Now, our deputy political editor, Sam Coates, has been pouring through all the numbers.
This is disaster happening.
This is an extraordinary moment for the campaign. 194 seats is the projection of YouGov if there's a general election tomorrow. To put that in context for you, Sophie, this is a bigger figure than any election for 100 years.
Oh, damn.
Bigger than 1997 when Blair won that.
Okay.
We're not done
hell.
with the Mexico election. So it's been very complex in Mexico since the start of its inception. No thanks to the U.S. government. Plus, how are we going to stop the narcos when we are the ones funding them by buying their products? Yeah. Now the progressives are in power, they demand an end to the system of violence that the right continue to aid and increase through corruption and austerity for generations. Yeah, look, you have to personally go on the curve. That's it. That's what you have to do. You have to analyze the situation, look at the material conditions, recognize how bad things are, and then see if the people that you're electing are moving the needle in positive directions. As far as the AMLO's administration goes, there's a lot of things that he ran against, like corruption ending corruption, which is, you know, I mean, kind of laughable. And also tackling narco violence, which again did not happen. There are understandable criticisms of like increased military organization, but beyond that, like I said, renationalization of oil, nationalization of lithium. These are all you know, positive. Funny how leftist leaders and figures and newspapers are saying this is good, but traitors are saying it's bad because their racist families said she sucks. No, I don't think so. I think that there is a understandable growing problem with respect to narco violence. AI dubbed a great Univision video of Claudia's big 3 moments in her political career.
Studying physics at UNAM, Claudia Scheinbaum joined in student movements with a leftist orientation, from which came the leaders that would create the Democratic Revolution Party that Scheinbaum later became a part of. However, politics was not her first preference. Upon finishing university, she dedicated herself to research and education. It was not until the year 2000 that a mutual friend recommended Scheinbaum to AMLO for the position of Environmental Secretary of the then Federal District due to her research on pollution. At this point in time, Claudia Scheinbaum was married to Carlos Dimas, who was governing Cloudbound. But in 2004, he became involved in a corruption scandal when he was caught on video illegally accepting hundreds of thousands of pesos. After confessing his involvement, he stepped down from his position. Journalist Elena Chavez stated it was Scheinbaum who reported her husband to AMLO, thereby gaining his trust. Journalist Arturo Ocano states that Scheinbaum resigned after this incident, but Lopez Obrador did not accept it. Instead, she served as his spokesperson in his first presidential campaign 2 years later. Then in 2015, she was elected to govern Yucatan, now a member of the National Regeneration Movement Party, also known as Morena, also led by MLO. 2 years later, tragedy struck.
That is literally just being misogynistic? No, Shelby Rose, what the fuck are you talking about? If anything, they don't even give a shit about her or her gender. They care that she's a continuation of AMLO. Please read this without the rat pen brain rot that you have. What the fuck are you saying? This has nothing to do with her. What are you talking about? If anything, this
It looks like the picture.
Growth, growth factions, increased violence against the black community, increased power of the armed forces, etc. Because it is a positive for women, at least give her the time to prove herself before you jump down her throat. Yeah, again, it doesn't matter. But most people's criticisms in this community nothing to do with her being a woman at all. Okay? The country Mexico is as divided as the U.S. This is why Biden versus Trump people support AMLO are called chairos, and the stereotypes is poor people and uneducated people against AMLO are called fifis. Stereotypes is white, middle class, or upper middle out of touch with Mexico. Step 2, bias against her because she's white. Yeah. Look, you cannot deny one thing, and that is that AMLO's party is fucking profoundly popular. I mean, you look at the fucking elections, and it's like, what are we talking about here? The popularity is unimaginable in comparison to So is Modi's though. Yeah, it's a little bit different, don't you think? Like, unless you're considering AMLO's party to be a fascist one, that is running on a platform of fascism. Oh, I spoke to some Morena members this past weekend. Shout out to Martha Garcia. Unfortunately, nationalization of minerals, especially lithium, won't happen until the next 50 years. For 100 years. And will cut the contract in half. First one of you to compare AMLO to Fetterman, then the other say hold my beer and comes out with the Modi take. Ultimately, I don't think...
Speak!
Oh, wow. I think it's just the best option overall, it seems, out of like any viable parties. And they're pretty fucking popular.
Hello everyone, I'm Rania Kalik with Breaking News.
I'm Zoe Alexander with People's Dispatch. We're here in Mexico City and we're joined by Dr. Claudia Sheinbaum, the head of government of Mexico City and one of the founders of Morena Party of President Andrés Manuel López Obrador. She's a rising figure in
Dr. Sheinbaum, thank you so much for joining us.
No, thank you for coming.
So let's jump right into it. You studied environmental engineering at university, and today you are the head of government of one of the largest cities in the world, over 20 million people in Mexico City. And you're also one of the founders of Morena. Can you tell us about your journey into politics? You went from student activism to being an elected official. What were your politics like growing up?
Well, first of all, my background is physics. Physics. How are we gonna get energy for math and PhD. And when I was 15,
like Sophia, you're a 3-month subscriber. You ostensibly are a leftist. I don't personally understand why you're in here talking like this. AMLO gains so much support by giving money to students and those over 60, which is, sounds good, but he's doing so by printing money, so that's just a ticking time bomb for financial disasters in Mexico. It's a little bit different when you're a country like Mexico in comparison to a country like America, but this is the exact same kind of fucking sentiment that I hear from, you know, neoliberal right-wingers in the United States of America, straight up Republican Party voters that will say, like, that's what Brandon's doing. He wants to give, you know, free money to the students and take away their student loan debt. It's like, what? Don't post these W's if you want to actually criticize them, because there are valid criticisms you can make about AMLO from a left-wing perspective. I don't even know if what you're saying is completely correct in any case, but, you know, because Mexico operates different. Okay.
Good idea. The first time that when I was in high school, the first time that I got involved in student mobilization, student movement, because many people couldn't
This
get
is from
in
a year
to-
ago, by the way, when she's the
I was
mayor.
in, but I was, you know, in solidarity with those that. And then I get involved in social politics, and it was very important for us in 1988 when Ingeniero Cárdenas was.
Yeah, it's different in countries that aren't monetary powerhouses like America is. You gotta tread more lightly when it comes to that aspect. Yes, 100%. Like the real money supply inflationary shocks are way more significant. Like modern, even MMT enjoyers, MMT defenders will not make the mistake that you can do MMT in a country like Mexico. You can only do it in a country with like sovereign currency. Whereas like a nation like Mexico is still very much beholden to global market forces, and beyond that are, in certain instances, almost completely controlled by the IMF and the World Bank regardless. So ultimately though, good. That's crazy. That's a lot. Okay. Yeah.
Presidency, and it was very important for us because we came from a student movement, and we decided, I said us because our generation, and we decided to go to ingeniero cadete. And later on, I went to the U.S. to study my PhD. And then I returned and I was part of the university. But I was involved from my parents, they were involved in the 1968 student movement. So I was involved in politics, but my main occupation was to be a mother and to be in the university. And in 2000, President López Obrador, when he was chief of government of Mexico City, he invited me to be the minister of environment. And I get involved later on in 2006 with electoral fraud. I was with López Obrador, even though I returned to university. I was with him for the movement.
Great. Well, we know that PRI and PAN really maintained a stranglehold over Mexican politics since 1946. In 2016, Morena was founded to be an alternative to this. And in 2018, of course, Morena achieved a historic electoral victory with the election of Andrés Manuel López Obrador. What does this mean for the course of Mexican politics?
In 2016, when Morena was created, nobody wanted to be in Morena because it was a new party. And in Mexico, you have to win a certain percentage of votes to be an official party. And it was very difficult because just few people wanted to be Morena. And the decision to get away from PRD, the party that we were, is that we thought at that time that there was no possibility in their party that was getting very close to the official party. So we decided to create. I said we decided because there were a lot of assemblies in all the country that decided to create this party. And from 2016 to 2022, it's 7 years, and now we have the presidency, 22 governors of 32, the majority of the Congress, the majority of the Senate, and a lot of municipal it's a change from economic model. Neoliberalism was now is in the past, and we have now a government that thinks in Mexican people rather than thinks in previous groups. So right now we have the majority, and that's because people are.
That's why you don't snap and.
Even though a lot of media is against the president and against Morena, people wants this change and wants this fourth transformation, as we call it, to continue.
So one thing that confirms some of what you're saying is the fact that you're currently beating all major polls for the 2024 election. What do you think has led to this support?
Okay, first of all, I think is that I have been in the movement always. I've been near President López Obrador always since 23 years. And at some point, people remember that I was, in the Adelitas movement that we had in 2008 against the privatization of oil, of the Mexican oil, of Pemex. And I was, in many movements. So they think that I can continue what President López Obrador is doing.
Yeah, boy.
So now.
Oh shit! I was sorry. I didn't realize. If you look at the 2024 Mexico president, she didn't just win 60%. She literally fucking wiped the goddamn map.
You got this.
This news is from.
I mean, it's crazy.
Hey, how does I do?
The problem here is that most of the members of Morena used to be members of PRI and PAN and other corrupt parties. At the end of the day, Mexican political class all comes from the same sewer.
Are you wet?
I need to understand what this chatter's not this chatter's gripes with AMLO, but I need to understand who this chatter thought would have been a better alternative. Who do you think was better? Because you keep saying it's about thinking about the most pressing issue. The issue of Mexico's going towards a state communism while pretending that it's socialism. If she studied what she said, it would be great. But that's just not the reality. Mexico hasn't gotten any better in the past 6 years in the things that are most important.
Whoa! Don't get. Run!
Nope.
Like, who was a better alternative in your assessment? I've seen detractors, maybe like Sophia, who think cartels are the number one problem. Cartels are the number one problem. You know what I mean? They are the number one problem. The problem, however, with cartels is that tackling cartels in Mexico is like tackling capitalism in America. Okay? The way I look at it is like, if I had a fucking candidate I mean, American comparisons don't even fucking work that well, because the situation in America is really dire, really awful, but like nowhere near. Like Mexico is not even a comparison, okay? We did not have 37 fucking political assassinations this time around. You know what I mean? Like while we were having our elections, right? We don't have like 100,000 people that have gone missing. I have no problem discussing the things. The only reason why they picked, I don't even know how to say this name still, was because AMLO picked beef with her. She was a trash pick too, but AMLO just wants to be a dictator, so continuing his handpick is just concerning.
Oh, God.
Okay, but you're not giving an alternative. Look. So chill. So chill. So chill.
Yeah. So far, he's doing the best.
We are very chill.
No. Hold on.
How's it going there, Cal?
People like that chatter mostly complain. All we do is watch DBZ. Okay. People like that chatter mostly complain about them being tied to narcos, but they will never leave. They have control and always have had control over the country. The difference when Calderon won is that he went to war versus the cartels to give the power to other cartels.
Uncle Baba?
Actually fizzle out like the mafia? No. I think that organized crime in Mexico is going to literally turn into what the Yakuza is inevitably, but with more power, where they will just have like fiefdoms, which they currently do, but they will become, I guess, like one avenue out of it is the completely like legal operation, or fucking. They have all the supply. They have an incredible fucking base of support in America that will take all the demand. They have an endless stream of guns going into Mexico that has given them, that has basically given them the power of actual militaries. Sometimes
Rồi con này là mặt A8 cho em.
themselves. These are bad things, right? Yes, none of these are good things. The only way, that's why I said the only way to tackle the cartel issue, cartel are literally political parties, law. They have people on the inside. OC, organized crime, is so embedded in politics that you need to deal with the underlying issue of why people join organized crime rather than life and honest work. Yeah. And that can only come through, genuine systemic inequality.